Will you be an inherently better person with a more magical life when your blood pressure is in the optimal range, your body fat percentage is at your goal, your bone density is higher, or your fasting insulin is lower? Then what's the point of doing all the healthy behaviors we're told we should deeply care about and we berate ourselves for not getting serious about? I think it's useful to really question assumptions, especially the ones that everyone takes for granted, like that you should want to be healthier and that you'd be better if you were. You're listening to the Health Courage Collective podcast, episode 240, Are Healthy People Better People? Welcome to the Health Courage Collective podcast, the show for women who are too busy to slog through hours of generalized, inapplicable, and often contradictory health information, but too smart to ignore that a few minutes of focused attention now can prevent years of suffering in the future. I'm your host, Christina Hackett, a pharmacist who doesn't want you to live on prescriptions, a certified coach specifically trained to maximize your potential, and a compulsive learner obsessed with preventative, cutting-edge, holistic, and integrative medicine. I'm on a mission to increase your physical and mental resilience so you can fearlessly look forward to your next 40-plus limitless years. Your time is now. Let's go. Hello, my friend, and welcome to today's episode. How's the electropollution in your life? Have you thought of a few simple ways to decrease how much electromagnetic radiation can penetrate your body? Little protections can help your cells be a tiny bit less chronically stressed. Today, we're going to talk about wanting to be healthier. There are a lot of things in life that it's obvious you should want. Health, wealth, happiness, beauty, youthfulness, thinness, respect, fame, power, credentials, entertainment, for everyone to adore you, for everyone to agree with you, success in everything you try, the envy of others, convenience, faster internet, more digital storage, comfortable underwear, Dubai chocolate. Is it all true? Should you want to look younger and do a bunch of crazy expensive and potentially dangerous things to try to, just because society says that you should? Clearly not. And I think we could make a good case for how learning to live in discomfort and uncertainty and to tolerate failure and boredom makes us much better people, even though the opposite is broadly accepted as the goal. We've talked about many of these things in past episodes. Just because the world tells us that we should want things for the sake of wanting them doesn't mean that that's actually in our best interest. What about money? It's pretty much universally assumed at all times that everyone wants more money, and that we should, as long as we don't talk about it, right? The prevailing belief is that anything that increases your income is something that you should immediately get on board with. I'm sure you can appreciate that more money is not always the panacea it's assumed to be. You've probably heard stories about people who accumulated astonishing amounts of money and then came to some kind of terrifying or soul-crushing realization that money didn't make their life magical. When you don't take the time to question the things you're told to want more of and sold as the things that will make your life wonderful, you're very likely to end up unfulfilled. Even if you do accumulate the fancy cars, hot bodies, social media followers, and college degrees. I think it's useful to attempt to identify the times a belief is pushed on you as the thing that you should want, because it's the thing that everyone wants. I think a great deal of people believe that all of their problems would vanish and they would be wildly happy if they suddenly got more money. Many, or even most people fit the meaningful pieces of their life, like their kids and their spouse and their creative projects, in around their main pursuit, which is the acquisition of money. And I totally get it that you can't feed, clothe, and house your people and pets and golf clubs and pottery wheel unless you get a paycheck. But for a lot of people, money is the end game and everything else is peripheral, or they think it is, until they have some kind of breakdown. But you can avoid the mascara-streaked face on the bathroom floor moment by pushing pause on the matrix and taking a little time to consider what your real end game is. Once you know that money isn't going to change who you fundamentally are and see it as a means to an end, not the end in itself, a neutral tool you can choose to use or not, like a leaf blower, you can start to do some pretty cool things with money. If you're clear about money's purpose in your life. Financial planner and author Carl Richards says that he thinks everyone should do an exercise where you get an index card and a Sharpie and write down what he calls your statement of financial purpose. Basically, what you want money to do for you. His personal statement of financial purpose is time with my family, mostly outside. Chip Gaines was a guest on his podcast, and his is money equals a tool for impact. Another example he had was a lady who said, ability to buy any type of cheese I want without feeling guilty. It's an interesting exercise that helps you get clear about what you want money to do for you. What is the end that money is the means to for you? Is it cheese? I'm sure you don't need me to tell you that there's a reason why so many people want more money. Having more money gives you way more options. What you choose to spend it on shows your values. Money gives you the ability to exercise your values in a bigger way. Whether that's feeding the homeless or having the most expensive pair of shoes in the room. Not that those two are mutually exclusive, because they're not. But anyway, money gives you more choice and opportunities. But your relationship with it is only good if you see it for what it is, a means to an end, not the end in itself. An excellent servant, but a terrible master. What about something else it's generally assumed we all want and should be in pursuit of and are inherently better, more moral, more respectable, more successful people if we have? Health. If you don't have your health, you don't have anything. Health is wealth. And he who has health has hope. He who has hope has everything. There are all kinds of sayings like this, and it is widely accepted that you should want to be healthy, and that being healthy is better than being unhealthy. But is it really true? Is health an end in itself that should be blindly pursued at all costs? Is a healthy person a better person? I think it's something else worth stepping back and questioning. Having health challenges can help you develop patience and character. Having health scares can help reconcile you with God and the reality of your own mortality. Poor health can help you develop your faith and your relationships with family. Often people with serious health issues are more loving, more humble. They don't take things for granted, and they're better able to live in the moment. Navigating health crises can help you develop new skills and greater empathy. It can give you a better perspective about what's actually important. There's a lot of value in remembering that life is finite and our lives are fragile and fleeting. So is health, whatever that means to you, really that valuable after all? Is it worth all of the trouble of pursuing? I mean, it's kind of a lot, right? Exercising, buying less processed foods and preparing it yourself, keeping track of how many grams of protein you eat, going to bed when you'd rather just keep watching your show, having to go outside, buying supplements, and whatever. Just like there are some people who think that they are inherently more valuable people because they have $1,000 a month of passive income. There are some people who think they are inherently more valuable people because they have 9% body fat. But is any of that true? Will your family put your impressive 25-hydroxy vitamin D level in your obituary? Will your grandkids tell their friends how excited they are to go to grandma's house because her fasting blood glucose is always below 90? So, does any of this stuff really matter? I talk about this stuff all the time, so clearly I think it does. I just think we need to slow down and remember why it matters more often. Health, no matter how impressive or hard fought, is not an end in itself. It's a means to an end. Keeping your blood pressure less than 118/78 doesn't make you morally superior, but it does give you more options. Having cell membranes made of healthy omega-3 fats instead of inflammatory fats expands your possibilities. Energy, strength, resilience, fast mental processing speeds, and low risk of catastrophe all expand your options and open up possibilities that are not available to people who have not accumulated those assets. Seeing the value in healthy assets, that they are a way to increase the chances that you'll get what you really want out of life, helps keep the work required to achieve health in perspective. You're not pursuing 5 pounds of more muscle mass because it's good to have 5 pounds more muscle mass, or because it will make you a better person. It won't. Actually, the discipline required to achieve that has the potential to make you better. But the point is that more muscle mass means more physical capacity, more strength, more resilient bones, more independence, less fragility, more ability to utilize glucose efficiently, better immune system function, and less metabolic dysfunction, which decreases your risk for cardiovascular disease, cancer, dementia, frailty, and a bunch of other things. And all of those things only matter in as much as they give you more of what you actually want. More fascinating conversations, more hikes in the mountains, more solo travel, more ability to help others who need you, more planting trees, more fighting for racial equity, more restoring vintage cars. Just like you can make a one-sentence statement of financial purpose to keep the endless pursuit of money in its proper perspective, I think you could make a statement of health purpose. It might even be the same. Time with my family, mostly outside. I think that still works. Health is being able to buy whatever cheese I want without feeling guilty. Maybe not quite so much on that one. I would love to steal Chip Gaines's statement of financial purpose for my own statement of health purpose. Health equals a tool for impact. To the extent that you can break free from the, quote, normal limitations of aging, like cardiovascular disease and symptoms of low hormones, you increase your ability to create meaningful impact. Money isn't inherently good or bad, but it is a tool that can be used for good. It's an excellent servant, but a terrible master. Same with health. It's not inherently bad to be in poor health, but it does impose limits on the usefulness of your tool. I also think you'll maximize the impact and usefulness of your good health tool if you focus on all of the positive things you can do to be useful if health is your servant, rather than trying to run away from the pain of poor health, or even death. Fear of looking old, fear of feeling old, fear of pain, fear of having to spend time in doctors' waiting rooms, fear of limited mobility or forgetting things is less powerful than wanting to be more useful, more powerful, more helpful, and leave a bigger impact on the world. While being healthy doesn't make you better, there are lots of reasons to take difficult action now to improve your health, but none of them should be fear. It's way more fun to play to win rather than to play not to lose. Being in unusually good health in your 60s, 70s, 80s, and beyond won't make you a better person. It won't give you the things that make you the most happy, which are strong connections with other people, having a sense of purpose, and feeling like you were true to yourself. Health doesn't equal happiness. Being healthy doesn't earn you a free pass from pain, uncertainty, or hard work. Just like you can be wealthy and not have a single thing that actually matters, you can be healthy and unwell. Health only matters if it allows you to do more of what is deeply meaningful to you. The cool thing is, it can do that now and for decades to come. And pursuing health goals as a means to an end requires discipline, which makes you better and feels really good after you stick with it. If you can exercise the discipline to eat 130 grams of protein and at least 4 vegetables a day, every day for 6 months, you've got the grit to meet the fundraising goal for your nonprofit organization too. You can do all kinds of cool things. Developing your character through exercising discipline to get healthier affects every area of your life, and your life affects the lives of everyone around you. I like this quote from Arnold Schwarzenegger's book, Be Useful. Have you read it? I listened to it with my kids on a road trip to Solvang, California, a couple of years ago. I thought they might be more likely to pay attention to it because they recognized his voice and accent, and they did. Anyway, he says, and I'll spare you the impression, but he does read his own book. I am only asking you to break your mirrors and do for others what you are able to do. I am asking you to give back, to pay it forward, to be as useful as often as you can. And I'm asking you to do that for the same reason that any of us have chosen to give back. Because we owe a debt of gratitude to the people who got us where we are today. Because we can do for the next generation exactly what the previous generations did for us. Because it will make the world a better place. Because it will make you happier in ways you never could have anticipated. One thing you learn when you've lived long enough is that we're all connected. We're all in this thing called life together. When we break our mirrors so we can see all the people behind the glass who could use our help, that's when we all benefit. End quote. Good health metrics are not an end in themselves. You can have clean arteries, optimal nutrient levels, and fast mental processing speeds, and be alone, purposeless, and unhappy. But the benefits of good health allow you to be more useful, to expand your capacity to pay it forward and help others in ways that they cannot yet help themselves. We're all in this thing called life together, and when we see people who could use our help and we're physiologically capable of rising to the occasion, everyone benefits because we're all connected. That's why I'm so passionate about helping you find ways to age at an elite level, because I know that the world needs your unique contributions, and I want my kids and future grandkids to benefit from you living more as you get older rather than less. And I know that you'll find more joy along the way too. Thank you so much for being here and listening today. I hope you found it useful. Next week, we're going to talk about how your exercise regimen needs to change with perimenopause and menopause. Until then, don't mindlessly pursue health and don't be normal. Thank you so much for tuning into the Health Courage Collective podcast. I am truly honored that you have paid me the enormous compliment of your time and attention. I would be so grateful if you would share this podcast with someone you know and subscribe so you never miss an episode. This podcast is for entertainment and information purposes only. Statements and views on this podcast are not medical advice. This podcast, including Christina Hackett and producers, disclaim responsibility for any possible adverse events by use of information contained herein. If you think you have a medical problem, consult a licensed physician.